Kitchen. Yeah, you guys, I remember to unplug the mixer this time before I stuck it down in that water. I think somebody mentioned that on the last video, so thank you all so much. But when I'm doing my sweet potato pies, I like to put my mixers, my what you call these things, my blend, these things called, my beaters. Lord have mercy. My beaters, I like to put them down in water. Y'all, I had to think about it for a minute, just get quiet and think about what I was trying to say. But I like to put them down in water, and then it gets all the strings off of them, and then I mix a little more, and I just keep doing that over and over until I'm satisfied with what's left, or shall I say what's not left. Okay, all right, today is number 2 in the series of our sweet potato pies. Now let me start by saying this, y'all, I love my mama's sweet potato pie recipe. That will forever be my recipe. Okay, I'm not looking for another recipe, but I'm doing this for y'all. All right, I'm doing this because, first of all, I did not realize that there were so many sweet potato pie recipes out there. So I thought now would be a great time for me to experiment and just see what some of the other recipes taste like. You know, Thanksgiving is coming soon, and I know I like to taste test, like when I go to Sam's, and if I taste something, I'm more apt to buy it if I like it, as opposed to just seeing it, you know, on the shelf or something and thinking, no, I don't want to buy that. So I'm hoping that as I share my findings or my thoughts on certain recipes, these sweet potato pies, it may make some of you curious and you might want to try one as well. Okay, so this is number 2. If you've not seen number 1, what was the first recipe with the sweet potato pie? I can't remember off the top. Oh, the first one I did was the one with the sweetened condensed milk. I've never done my pies with sweetened condensed milk before because that's not how my mama did it. So that was the first one I did. If you've not seen that video, please check it out. So we've done the sweetened condensed milk. Now we're going to do a buttermilk sweet potato pie. Now, before I forget, let me say this as it pertains to our seasonings in my mama's sweet potato pie. She only uses the nutmeg, okay? I know several of the recipes, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, cinnamon, lemon juice, you know, whatever you all want to make or want to use, it's whatever you like. But my mom only used nutmeg, so that's the only spice that I'm used to using in our sweet potato pies, okay? So this buttermilk sweet potato pie, I think there's one out there that has the sweet potato at the bottom and the buttermilk pie on the top or something like that. That's not what this is. This one is actually using buttermilk as your milk base, okay? With my mom's pie, we've always used evaporated milk. So this is new. This is different. I want to try it, and depending on my reaction, it may, and dude number one, aka my husband, if you're new, and if you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. All right. So we're gonna try this today and just see what we think about it. Okay. This is number 2. What I'll be using today is, now what I did learn from that last video that the 2 cups of sweet potatoes, in my opinion, for my 9-inch pie shell, that was too much. Y'all saw I had sweet potato pie filling left over. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's hard enough me trying to make one pie, okay, because I'm used to making 6 to 8 or more pies at a time. So I have 1 pound of sweet potatoes. So it was those two kind of small sweet potatoes that you saw me mixing up or roasting and mixing up, and that's 1 pound. Speaking of roasting, I like to roast our sweet potatoes because they're not as watery when you boil them on the stove. And my mom and I, we've done both, but prefer to do them in the oven, roast them in the oven. That way they're not as watery, and I think it brings out more of the flavor in the sweet potato. Okay, I roasted on, excuse me, my oven was set at, I think it was like 400 for maybe about 55 minutes. It's going to depend on 1, your oven, and 2, also the size of your sweet potatoes. Okay, I prick them, you know, so that they can vent and the steam can come out. I prick them with my little I have several of these little cake testers. Well, there you go. Rather than, some people do a fork, which is fine. Some people do maybe the end of a knife, but I just prick it about 9 to 12 times with that little cake tester. So we're going to get this mixed up. Let me tell you the rest of my ingredients. Okay, and I wrote it out to make sure I tell you everything, and per usual, all of the ingredients that I use will be in the description box below. Of course, I thoroughly washed my hands too. Y'all don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty. All right? Okay, so we have 1 cup of our roasted sweet potatoes. I've already mixed them up. We'll be using 1 cup of regular granulated sugar. Now, I do feel like I want a little bit more sugar, but I'm going to leave that be right now, okay? I'm trying to do this recipe as close to the recipe as possible. But I already know I would like a little bit more sugar, but we're going to do the 1 cup. This recipe also called for 2 cups of potatoes, but we're doing 1 cup of sweet potatoes, 1 cup of sugar, and then here's the buttermilk, 1/2 cup of buttermilk. And I think I'm kind of curious to see, you know, that buttermilk can have a little twang to it. So I'm just curious as to see what it's gonna taste like in the sweet potato pie, honey, please. Remember, I'm doing this for y'all. 1/2 stick of unsalted butter, and I'll half it when I get ready to put it in the bowl. You can tell that it is soft. You see how soft that is. I just let it sit out, so it's soft. Unsalted butter, 2 large eggs. They've already been cracked. They're room temperature too. I just let them sit out. They're room temperature. My buttermilk is room temperature, and my butter is room temperature. So we'll be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I need to get me some more vanilla too. I'm just going to use the Clear Watkins vanilla extract. And then I'll add ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So here is my nutmeg. Here is my, that's that, ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and my 1/4 teaspoon of ginger is right here. Okay? I've never used ginger in a pie, only nutmeg, so we shall see. And that's it, y'all. Okay? So we're gonna get this mixed up. My oven, did I tell you it was preheated to 425? I can't remember. What I like to do is have my oven at a high temperature. Oh, the 9-inch regular pie crust. This is what we've always used. I've never done a pie. I know a lot of people do pies in the deep dish, and that's fine. You need a little bit more ingredients if you're going to use a deep dish, but in any event, we've always used the 9-inch regular pie crust. Okay, I do not par bake my pie crust. I don't poke holes in it and put. We just fill it with the pie filling, and then I start cooking on a high temperature. If I were to try to guess a time, maybe about 15 minutes. What I really do is I watch it. I peep at it, because I can peep and open the oven when I'm baking this pie, but not when I'm doing a cake. Okay, so I'll peep at it, and once this crust around the edge just starts to brown, then I turn it down, and I turn it down to like 325, and I let it bake the rest of the way slow. Okay, all right, I think I told you everything I need to tell you. We're going to get this pie mixed up. Let me get this out of my way, since I've already measured this out. Did I even I showed it to you in the, this is the ginger I'm using, and this is the McCormick. My mom used McCormick, her favorite. All right, so we're going to get this mixed up and get it in the oven. I think that's all I meant to tell you guys. Okay, so just watch me mix up this pie, and then we'll get it in the oven, and it will be ready to bake. Okie dokie. I guess it's looking a little curdled because of that buttermilk. This batter does look a little different than, look at that. See how it looks because of that buttermilk? Anywho, okay. So let's see how much of it will fit in this pie shell. Uh-oh, wait a minute now. Okay, just a little left. Wow, that's so much better than the last pie we did. That's not much left at all. Didn't do too bad this time, you guys. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see, because it's not real jiggly. First of all, I want to make sure that it doesn't, just in case it runs over, I have something under it. So let me, that's just some foil I already had. Some foil I already had used. I'm just going to put that under the pie. So we are going in. Girl, stop all that talking, lady. You're going to let all your heat out. Oh, I feel like I want to put at least, wait a minute, y'all. I feel like I can drop just a little bit, one more little spoon on top of it. Okay. All right. I just had to, y'all. I just had to. Okay. So, like I said, my oven was preheated to 425. I'm sure it dropped a little bit, but it'll build back up. Once it starts browning, I'm going to turn it down to 325. And then I will let you all know exactly how long it baked once I take it out, okay? I'm going to set my timer for about 10 minutes and then I'll peep at it. Y'all, she pretty. Okay. After I turned her down, isn't she pretty? She is golden brown. Like I love my pie to look. The crust is perfect looking for what we prefer. So now we just have to sit here and cool for several hours. But she's pretty, y'all. I mean, that crust is just the perfect golden brown that I prefer. It's going to be interesting to see what she tastes like. Look at that. Okie dokie.
Ooh, that looks good.
It does. It looks pretty. It's the sweet potato pie series continued.
What's that?
I'll tell you once you eat it.
That looks more like that looks different.
It's a different one.
Then the last one, it does look different.
But it's like I hear a butts.
Yeah, but it ain't yours. I can tell you that right now.
You don't know
I
that.
can tell you that.
You cannot.
I can tell you that.
How can you tell?
And so I'm trying to figure out that middle. It's something about that, almost like wow, that looks good.
I don't know how you can. Cause mine be looking like this sometimes.
There's something about that crust. I mean, it's about that the filling. There's something about the filling. Don't here.
Can you get it out without breaking the crust?
Yeah, see, your problem is there you go. You gotta go across the bottom. You jabbing instead of.
Oh, I'm jabbing instead of slicing. Okay.
There you go. You jabbing instead of slicing. So there you go. We have done. But this is something about this.
Let me see if I can. I had sprayed 2 little things Oh, you got it out pretty.
Look at
Okay,
that.
good. Look at you.
I know what I'm doing. It's like I told you.
Okay, you guys. So here it is, out of the pan. You did good getting it out. Let's see. Ooh, let me try. Look, the last time I tried it, so you can see the bottom and see that it's done. Can y'all see that good? Just cooking it at that high temperature. I know y'all be liking them close-ups to see everything. I'm gonna let you taste it first. Then I'll taste it. Y'all, this little bit I had left, I was getting ready to see if I could do two little two little, maybe enough for one. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's just gonna, maybe we can get two little ones. Oh, I can't see your face behind me. Oh, babe. What's that?
It's not yours.
It's not mine, okay?
The filling is too fluffy.
It's too fluffy.
It seems to be, it's not as dense.
Okay.
Yeah, the filling is not as dense. It's good, but it's not yours.
So I'm going to get just two little. If I had a, I don't know, I may have been able to get one, but I just wanted to make sure. One little muffin. I just want to use up the rest of that little filling. So we'll sit there for about 12 minutes or so. Wait a minute, babe, let me taste it. Is it good? What does the seasoning, turn it off too either. What does the spice in it taste like?
It's definitely, it's good to get you a fall filling.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's good. I like this
Okay.
one. Filling is not as dense, but I can. It's good. But it's good.
I guess because it has, I definitely taste a nutmeg.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference?
It's not as, what you're trying to say, it's not as firm as mine.
Yeah, that's what I mean by dense. The density of it.
Okay.
It's almost like fluffy.
And this one, it has,
It's almost like fluffy.
it's a pretty pie. Can you compare it to the other one? The first one I did with the sweetened condensed milk?
It's not as heavy. It's not as rich.
Okay, and that's true because the last one I did had regular sugar and brown sugar in it, and the sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah, so this is not rich. This is.
Is it sweet enough? Is this one
Yes.
sweet enough? Okay,
It's
well
sweet
see,
enough.
that's, I'm glad I didn't add any more sugar. This one is only 1 cup of sugar,
That's good.
and it's made with buttermilk. Does it seem to have like a little twang to it?
That's
or
what I was
something?
going to say. That's what I'm saying. There's
something
something to it, but it's.
Come this way a little bit. Okay.
The thing is,
Wait a minute, let me tell you everything else. Buttermilk, in addition to the nutmeg, it also has ginger in it.
how you
Doing
do
like
that?
me. When I be doing like this, my mama used to do that. It helps me get the taste and also the flavor when I'm just hitting my tongue up against the roof of my mouth. I don't know, my mama used to do that, and I do the same thing.
It's no. Now, as far as the other one, I can tell with the condensed milk, that was a little more denser. But this,
Richer.
Yeah, that was a little more richer.
Okay.
This right here, it looks like yours. It looks like yours.
It looked more like mine than
right.
the sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It looked more like yours than the
Yes.
sweetened condensed milk. But this doesn't have that weight to it.
It's not as firm.
Not as
Okay.
firm. Yeah, but it's good.
And
It's
maybe
good.
it's, because even when you do, I think when you do buttermilk and cakes, it helps make it a
Yeah,
little
that's
fluffier.
good. That's
So
really
it was
good.
made with buttermilk.
That's really good.
Okay.
It really is.
Okay. So between the sweetened condensed and the buttermilk one, if you had to do something other than mine, it would be the buttermilk.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And to make it firm, I probably could have just added another egg. Although it's firm.
It's firm, but like I said, I'm comparing it. I'm comparing it to yours.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing I'm doing. You know, you have your habits.
But it has to be that buttermilk because I use 2 eggs in my pie. We use 2 eggs in this one, 2 eggs in my pie. So it must be that buttermilk that makes a difference.
What milk you use?
The evaporated milk.
Okay.
In the can.
Yeah. So that yeah.
You have the sweetened condensed in the can, and
you
also
have
the evaporated.
Okay. Yeah, and you can tell that canned milk gives it a heaviness to it.
Okay.
So that's how I was able to tell the other one that you fixed, yours and that one.
But this one, it's good.
But I like that. That's
you
good.
said.
That's good.
And I don't even know that I would taste it and know it has ginger in it. I don't know.
No, it didn't jump out at me.
Yeah, it didn't jump out at me either.
So ginger would be like a little spicy, a little.
It's a different
so no, I
kind
wouldn't
of
know
spice.
that. I wouldn't know that. So that's good. That would be us.
Hopefully this is helping you guys. Like I said, for those of you that may want to try a different sweet potato pie recipe, or maybe you've never fixed a sweet potato pie at all, and you think, okay, listening to what we say about the different kinds that I'm going to be doing in this series, maybe that will help you decide if you were wanting to make a sweet potato pie. Well, based on what they said about this one, I want to try this one. So,
well, I would definitely say this. That it would be almost like yours would be like, you know what? I'm done. This Thanksgiving, I don't care about no diet. I'm going in. Okay. This one is like, okay, it's like you can get away with this. I can still fool myself into saying I can justify eating this. It's not really bad. Okay. When I say bad, meaning I can get away with it for my diet.
Yeah, I mean, well, this one too. Like if I was somewhere and I had to eat a sweet, like I say, I don't know that I've eaten anybody else's sweet potato pie because I love my mama so much. Yeah. My mama's recipe. But if we were out at a restaurant or dinner or something and we had a sweet potato pie, that's doable. Like you know, I could eat it. It's not like.
If I wouldn't be upset or bothered. It has the right amount of sugar to it.
It's good.
It's not over sugar.
And I tell you the truth, I really started to add about another half cup of sugar. And I'm glad I did.
Heavy-handed.
Yeah, we like it sweet. Yeah. But even for me, that 1 cup of sugar was good. It's good. So okay.
So, but you know what? Yeah. Again, like I said, when you taste it, that buttermilk, because buttermilk makes things a little fluffier, don't it?
Yeah, I think so. Even with like when you do buttermilk, something about the moistness too. Like when you use the buttermilk,
but you can tell,
sour cream,
like I said, you can tell it's like a little fluffier.
Okay.
So that's what I'm tasting. That fluffy is not as dense, but that's good. Though.
This is fun. This is fun. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this series. This is video number 2 in the sweet potato pie series. Like I said, I'm good with my mama's sweet potato pie recipe. I'm just doing this for you all. You know,
they're good, but Mama's 0-2. I say 2-0. She's 2-0. She's 2-0.
And see, I didn't tell him like when I make these pies, just like I do my cakes. I'm not telling him what's different about them until after he tastes them. So that was.
It's so funny because that was a little more. That's a golden brown. That's like a gold looking. The other one didn't. See, notice that.
Well, maybe it browned differently because this is
the milk. I'm sure the milk will have something to do with it.
This is the way we like our pies to look. Now, for some people, this may be too dark for you, but this is exactly how we like our pies to look.
And that's why everything plays. Everything plays with the mind, what you're used to tasting, what you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
So it may taste the same, but don't look the same. Then it may look the same, but don't taste the same. But either way around, that's a good one right
But
there.
if you don't like your pie quite this dark, then just don't bake it as long. But this is how we like ours. So anywho, we hope that you all are enjoying this series. This is video number 2. So we have sweet potato pie number 3 that will be coming up at some point. I've not even baked it yet. But anywho, we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. We're excited. The holidays are coming. So I'm Miss Donna trying to get y'all right for the holidays.
Get your head right because we're going in on the holidays. We're going to do a lot of stuff together.
All right, you guys. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so.
By hitting the nosy.
And that's turning on that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we're over here doing all the things, whatever we are doing. You all stay tuned for sweet potato pie number 3. And everything else we got going on. Okay? All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye.